have filed our grounds of opposition to their petition. But when we find ourselves in all these matters at the same time, it becomes very difficult for the respondents to handle the court. So my Lord asked them to
this is what we have agreed that we deal with as the 6 because of the one the procedure we deal with the 6 which we have here. The civil can open another issuance. Yes, for the people now we deal with what is before the civil, but we tend to come on the which is the directions.
Okay, the directions.
Yeah, tomorrow.
What I heard my learned friend from the Senate suggesting is that
I think it's just in order when you speak, you introduce yourself because we don't keep the names in yes.
My name is Gachagua.
Mr. Kirago.
What I heard my learned friend suggesting is that for now, do not listen to an application for conservative order made by the petition, because there are other petitions which are not before you that may come before you or they may go before another court. These petitions, my Lord, we learned through this process, they continue to be filed more or less after 2 days, after 3 days. There will be no end to filing of these petitions. So, for what is before you, let us proceed. We also ready to have your application for conservative order. Otherwise, my Lord, all this time you lapse when petitions are being filed left, right, center. So it is not unfair to file petitions against the National Assembly or the Senate, and therefore the suggestion that we are being unfair to them to include them in every petition is totally wrong because they are the proper parties in the petition. Thank you.
My Lord, perhaps.
Yes.
With your permission.
Yes.
This is Nyamodi for the National Assembly. If I could perhaps just point out to the bench that the invitation that was sent out by the Deputy Registrar of the Constitutional Division to parties yesterday indicated that the matter is before the bench this afternoon for a mention. I'm not sure whether it is then proper if this matter is set down before you for a mention for any party to seek to urge any substantive application that is pending for hearing and determination in this matter.
My Lord, if I may, looking at all the petitions that have been filed before this court, most of them had a certificate of urgency seeking ex parte orders. So therefore, it is not true, or it's not convincing from my learned colleague, Mr. Nyamodi, that it is not fair for them to be confronted with application during a mention for a case that has been listed for a mention.
Who is speaking?
Those orders that
What is your name? What is your name?
Has been sought ex parte.
Please, can you tell us who you are?
My Lord, my lady, my name is Lempa in petition 525 of 2024.
My Lord and my lady, if my colleague is through, permit me to say something small.
Yes, Mr. Harvey.
The purpose of today's mention was for the bench to take directions in respect of the disposal of the petitions that were forwarded to the Chief Justice pursuant to the ruling of Justice Lawrence Mugambe, and or to consider any interlocutory applications. As we speak right now, responses to the petitions and the applications have not been made. My humble request therefore will be for the court to give directions of the filing of responses if the court is minded to determine the petitions instead of dealing with interlocutory applications, and to give us an indication when we may return to either hear those interlocutory applications or the petitions as consolidated if the court is minded to consolidate them. Otherwise, we'll end up spending so much judicial time hearing everybody on a matter which the court of itself will even have made directions to hold.
When did they file a matter application? This is an application of this matter. This is an application.
Senator Council Mute, you said you filed an application.
Yes.
In this matter.
Yes.
Can you cite it? Where?
Lord, in 5/2024, we have the following documents. One, the certificate of urgency dated 2nd of October 2024.
Yes, I've seen the application.
It is there, including hard copy.
When was it filed?
2nd of October.
And
this is what was before the Honorable Justice Mugabe.
It was not heard.
We say the issues raised in the certificate and in the petition are so weighty that they needed more than one judge. And your brother agreed, and therefore sent the petition and the certificate to the Chief Justice to constitute this bench, which I'm happy was constituted. And therefore, we made it clear for the petition applicant in 522 that we wished to argue this certificate of urgency before a 3-judge bench. And we are here today. We wish to argue that certificate.
Have you received any responses to that application?
Yes, they have filed grounds of opposition, PU, and that sort of thing. They comply. And my Lord, we are seeking to stop the impeachment in the Senate tomorrow. So we need to be heard today, whichever way this court proceeds.
Lord, can I make one submission?
Just a minute.
Let's consolidate this. Let's also what we have. We gave first to 6 petition and whatever another petition is, and the consolidate and then 2. We tell them if any party wants to file submissions or wants to file whatever thing between now and tomorrow, because time and we've been them by then we'll give them time. If you are able to file written submission, we'll give you limited time. That's great. So you choose if you're going to see it. But you know, if it's 10 minutes, it will be 10 minutes. Yeah. It's what we coordinate.
What time?
It has been early. So that we give them like 2 hours around 11. So that they minutes will be at least important.
Okay. So yeah, that's one. So we consolidate the facts we have first. We give them time to respond.
The file submission. They have already filed correspondence. The file submission. And the hearing will be on the interlocutory application in the 6th provision.
Only on the conservatory.
Yes, on the conservatory. So we have on the applications in the 6th. So whoever wants to respond.
Yes. So this one will turn this.
Yes.
520.
For 522. The lead.
Do we limit your submissions or just the submissions? Do we limit the submissions?
So in terms of consolidation, we have to reconfigure the parties.
No problem. You can do that in a minute.
Okay.
You can do that.
Of the submissions which were made, firstly on consolidation, of the matters which are before us, and secondly, on the issue of the application dated 2nd of October.
How about my application? I indicated that I would also wish to add my application dated the 30th of September.
Which orders are you seeking?
I am seeking for conservatory orders as well.
Which kind of consolidation orders?
Your Lordship.
You see, once we deal with the issue of consolidation, your file will find itself inside there. Yes. So it seems to us best to have all these matters consolidated and heard together as a consolidated petition. And that is the order of the court. What we'll then do is to reconfigure the parties and find out how we refer to them. Judge Mrema will lead us in this process. By the way, consolidation is only for matters which are before us. We cannot entertain any matter which is not currently before us. So the 6 matters which were referred to this bench will be consolidated and heard together as one consolidated petitions. We'll then now reconfigure the parties.
Thank you very much, President Judge. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Yes, my lord, we can hear you, my lord.
Okay. Now, going by the ruling delivered by Judge Mugambi on the 11th day of October 2024, petition 522 of 2024 was made the lead petition. Therefore, the first petitioner in this series will be the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, that is petitioner number 1. And then the parties in 509. In 509, we have 5 petitioners. So petitioner number 2 will be Obuli Namenya. Petitioner number 3 will be Kennedy Karidhi Gachagua. Petitioner number 4 will be Dennis Okumu. Number 5 will be Simon Muchangi. And number 6 will be Peter Maina Kanene. Then parties in 537. That will be petitioner number 7 will be Gema Watho Association. (528). Petitioner number 8 in the series will be John Mugo Kiragu. (525). Petitioner number 9 in the series will be Njomo John. And in 506, petitioner number 10 will be Caroline Wambui Mwangi. Then on the part of the respondents, parties will appear as follows. The first 4 respondents in the lead petition, that is 522, will continue appearing as the first to the 4th respondent. That is, the first respondent will be the Speaker of the National Assembly of Kenya. Second is the National Assembly of Kenya. third respondent will be the Speaker of the Senate, and the fourth will be the Senate. Then we will have Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula as the fifth respondent, Honorable Amason King Jeffa as the sixth respondent, the Honorable Attorney General will appear as the seventh respondent. And interested parties will appear as follows.
Before you go to the interested party, you've forgotten Deputy Speaker, National Assembly.
Deputy Speaker, National Assembly?
Yes.
Which file does he appear in? I didn't see any of such a party.
The Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly appears in E537.
537, just a minute. E5.
See that the card is for you.
Just a minute. 557, it's here. Oh yes, appears as the third respondent. So this one will be, we will reconfigure again. Let's have the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly as the fifth respondent. Then Honorable Wetangula becomes the sixth. Then Honorable Amason Jeffa becomes the seventh. And the Honorable AG becomes the eighth respondent. Any other respondent we've left out? Okay. Then in respect of the interested parties, they will appear as follows. The first interested party will be Honorable William Samoei Ruto. And it appears like he'll be the sole interested party in this. Pardon?
LSK.
On LSK. In which file does LSK appear?
We are the interested party in the lead file 522 of 2024.
So LSK becomes the second interested party. Any other interested party?
It's not in 528.
528.
Yes, yes,
Mount Kenya Jurors. Oh yes, yes. So Mount Kenya jurist will be the third interested party. Next. Okay. We don't have any amici, so I think we are done with the consolidation and how the parties will appear henceforth. Thank you, President.
May I now have the opportunity to address the
On what issue?
On my notice of motion in 522 of
We have just a minute.
Just a correction on the names.
Yes.
Your record should properly reflect the parties. When you refer to Honorable William Samoei Ruto, the proper statutory name is His Excellency. So you put HE instead of Honorable. But the same applies for regarding Gachagua.
Mr. Wanyama, I'm bound by the pleadings here, and they refer him as William Samoei Ruto.
No, I'm just mentioning for the record of the court.
Yes. Yes, we have taken preliminary arguments put forth by Senior Counsel Mwite and very brief responses which were made by various parties and responses thereto. We recognize that the application dated 2nd of October 2024 is a very urgent application, and therefore we will not entertain any further discussion on whether or not it should be had. The directions we are making is that we direct all parties to file submissions of 5-page, each to be highlighted tomorrow in the morning at 9. So your submissions must be on file by 8 a.m. We'll give you 5 minutes each to highlight one issue in your submissions.
Well, that defeats the whole purpose.
Hello?
That defeats the whole purpose of the notice of motion by the Deputy President, because Senate is commencing its impeachment at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And the whole purpose of this notice of motion was to stop that impeachment from commencing. So it's purely academic. We ask that we be heard now so that the record will reflect the argument of the Deputy President, whichever way this honorable bench will rule. But asking us to come tomorrow at 9 renders our notice of motion purely academic.
My Lord, if I may.
Yes.
My Lord, this is Yamodi for the second respondent of the National Assembly. Tomorrow 9 a.m. may not be convenient because the Senate will be proceeding with the impeachment tomorrow morning. And in any event, my Lord, it is the second respondent's respectful position that this application, similar application, has been determined only a few hours ago by your brother, Mr. Justice Chacha Mwita. Those same facts were argued before Mr. Justice Chacha Mwita, and before your lordships decide whether or not to hear this application, it would be important to have sight of your brother Justice Chacha Mwita's ruling of this afternoon.
Because the Chief Justice considered that it is right that this notice of motion for conservatory order be considered by a bench of 3 judges, which is why he constituted this. Give us an opportunity. And I will be very brief, will not take more than 15 minutes. That's all. At least let justice be seen to be done.
Is it correct that a similar application was heard and determined by Justice Chacha Mwita?
One judge. The orders by the Honorable Mr. Justice Mugambi, because of this matter, research weighted issues, they should be heard, the conservatory application, by 3 judges. And your Lordship, I have no doubt I'll be able to convince you to grant the conservatory application. You give us 15, 20 minutes.
My Lord, my lord,
with your permission, my lord.
Just a minute, please.
My Lord.
There was somebody in line before you. Somebody.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
If I may go first.
Oh, my lord, my name is Lempa in petition 525 of 2024. Now, given that Justice Chacha Mwita has already settled the question as to whether the court has jurisdiction to audit any action on impeachment and whether it complies with the Constitution, kindly allow me to make an oral application. So now that this matter is oscillating between the judiciary and the National Assembly, it is yet to go to the third arm of the government, which is the executive. My lord, my lady, kindly admit my oral application seeking the following orders. That pending the hearing and determination of this petition, a conservatory order issue restraining the President or his agents from nominating and or forwarding any name to the National Assembly for consideration of approval as newly appointed Deputy President. The second, on the grounds that the court has determined it has jurisdiction on these issues. The court has a bench already seized of this matter, has already started to process the various petitions before you. There is no legal order restraining the President or his agents from nominating and forwarding to the National Assembly with lightning speed a new DP nominee to the National Assembly for approval if the Senate votes to impeach the current...
Mr. Lempa, I would suggest that you let us finish the issue before us here, then you can raise any application, we'll listen to you.
I am supporting my...
There's an application that is 2nd of October 2024. We want to deal with that one first.
Mine is also, the petition, my notice of motion is also dated the 2nd day of October 2022. It's in support of that particular notice of motion.
Did you serve it?
Yes. And it was acknowledged, and that's the reason why we have respondents in that particular petition.
My Lord.
Reference from the advocates from the National Assembly, Mr. Nyamodi, and Gumbo, advocate, my learned senior.
I think for the purposes of order, we cannot at the same time talk about two applications. We will deal with that one application, and if necessary, we'll go to the second application. For the time being, we are dealing with the application dated 2nd of October 2024 by Senior Counsel Paul Mwite.
Yes, may I address it?
Yes, my Lord, with your permission.
Just a minute, please.
Milimo, my Lord.
Yes, please.
Now, my Lord, with the new configuration, my Lord, I appear for the 1st, 5th, and 6th respondents. My Lord, we've had the direction that you've given, my Lord, that we appear before you tomorrow at 9 in respect, my Lord, of the lead petitions application. My Lord, on our part, we will be ready to appear before you, my Lord, in the morning to oppose that application, my Lord. And that, my Lord, you shall note that in the decision that has just been delivered by your brother, Justice Mwita, it had some typographical errors, my Lord, that His Lordship indicated that it will be ready soon. We will be requesting, my Lord, that you grant us an opportunity to rely on that ruling, to demonstrate, my Lord, that the lead petitioner before you is engaging in a process of abusing, my Lord, the judicial process. And that, my Lord, as we appeared before you this afternoon, my Lord, you shall note that some of us, my Lord, appeared virtually because we know, my Lord, that the matter is coming up only for directions. For my learned colleague, therefore, my Lord, to seek that we proceed with the motion today is in itself, my Lord, being not only discourteous, but dishonest also, my Lord.
We have considered these submissions, and we must be alive to the urgency of the matter. After we made directions, Senior Counsel Paul Mwite gave his further views, and we have consulted, and we are giving directions forward in a few minutes' time.
Your Lordship, we are ready about the directions given, but perhaps Your Lordship, as you consider the direction sought by my senior learned counsel, there is an application in 528, equally dated the 2nd of October, which is looking to address the consequences of the functions that will ensue either tomorrow or on Thursday, that may or may not render the office of the Deputy President vacant. These are very substantive question of should the Senate proceed to impeach the Deputy President, who is a petitioner, number one. What will ensue constitutionally in the absence of the IBC vis-a-vis the nomination that my learned friend Mr. Lepar was addressing? That is an equally important question, Your Lordship. Would seek your indulgence that as soon as senior counsel submits and brings off, that you grant us an opportunity to address you and convince you the reason as why you need to admit our application.
Mr. Adego, I think that's what that is what I said. Yes. That let's deal with the senior counsel's application. After we finish that, if there's any other applications, we can consider it.
I am willing to compromise my application and deal with the application in 528.
My Lord, I'm not arresting your directions. I'm just also going on record. My Lord, this is now a practical scenario. My Lord, yesterday in petition 550 of 2024, we appeared for 4 hours from around 10 a.m. to around 2:30, hearing the question of conservatory orders before Justice Chacha Mwita. My Lord, the petitioner in that matter is regarding Gachagua. And my Lord, today at 3 p.m., Justice Chacha Mwita delivered a ruling dismissing the application for conservatory orders. And my Lord, in that ruling, which we don't have the benefit of possessing the physical copy, the judge has said that the petition which he has determined is similar to this one. And therefore, even as you give directions, my Lord, for us, we will be ready, we'll stretch ourselves if your directions are that we hear this matter. But my Lord, it is really a process.
I think there's a good argument in the submission that this is a three-judge bench.
Yes, yes.
And they want this matter to be considered by a three-judge bench.
Absolutely, my Lord.
Yes.
So, my Lord, I'm just mentioning, as I wonder, that in that matter, the learned Justice Witter has stated that the issues in that petition, which he has issued an order dismissing the request for conservatory orders, and in this matter are similar. So the learned judge has forwarded the file to the Chief Justice with a direction that the Chief Justice considers it to be forwarded here for purpose of similarity. I'm just pointing out the convergence, my Lord, so that you're able to have a picturesque perspective on the issue. So, my Lord, even if we are ready, even if you direct that we hear this application, just know that, my Lord, we are really stretched in terms of the issues. We are really stretched in terms of time, and even my Lord, our physical ability to stand here, and my Lord, again, argue the same matter which we've been arguing, my Lord, for the last 5 hours.
We have water here. The person.
If he had any respect for age, he would have perhaps outweighed.
Yes, are you ready to take directions? Yes. Yes, we'll give directions on that application.
All right. We have considered the submissions made by Council with respect to the application of the 2nd of October 2024, and the following are the directions of the court issued, presupposing that all parties have responded to that application. The bench will hear the application in appreciation of the urgency of the matter, as well as the weighty issues arising, but on very strict timelines, again being realistic about the amount of time that is available. And in the following order, we will allow 7 minutes for each of the petitioners. 7 minutes for each of the petitioners. We will allow 5 minutes for each of the respondents to respond, 5 minutes. And we will allow a further 5 minutes for rejoinder by the petitioners. We aim to render a ruling tomorrow at 8 a.m. But let us keep within the timelines that the court has stated for our respective oral submissions.
For 5 minutes. I'm making a request.
Yes, that one is not a bad one.
Yes. I'm making the adjournment because I need to go to the court to pick my authorities. We didn't know that we are coming to make submission, so we proceed.
Yes, that is in order. We'll adjourn for 5 minutes.
But, my Lord, we would like to come to court now that we are proceeding. We had only prepared for a mention, and maybe we would need about 30 or 45 minutes to get to court so that we can.
We can hear you very clearly, Mr. Nyamodi. If you can just remain where you are, there's no prejudice. We'll be able to hear you.
I must reply.
Okay, we'll give you 30 minutes. We'll give you 30 minutes. All those who want to come to the open court, we'll give you 30 minutes.
Yes, my Lord, I was going to make a similar request. Thank you. We will be in court, my Lord.
At 6 p.m.
What's the time? We start at exactly 6 p.m.